Hey, I am getting blown away right now by a father in the faith that I have discovered. I knew he was out there and around, but I never really looked into him, and that is A.W. Tozer. And I keep telling people, I wish this guy was still alive so that I could sit down and have coffee with him and just cry. Um, I was given a book, The Pursuit of God, and I get given books from time to time, and I kind of peruse the beginning, and we'll see if I make it through. But most of the time, I'm not a quick reader, so um, books aren't big for me, and I love chewing on the Bible, and that's my book. That's it. Um, but I devoured this one as much as a slow reader like me can devour a book, and it was amazing. It was so good. Um, but I returned that book after I finished it and purchased. It's kind of like a three-in-one book, and that I'll show to you. This is definitely a plug. Um, the knowledge of the holy, the pursuit of God, and then God's pursuit of man. I don't know if that's backwards to you. It looks backwards to me. But that's what it is, A.W. Tozer, and it's a three-in-one deal. And so I'm reading through this, the knowledge of the holy. Wow. And I'm so blown away. Uh, he doesn't, some of the old writers, I love old books. If I can find a Christian book that has a tattered uh, bound end on it, it just looks old, I know, man, it's going to be good. But some of those guys, they talk so um, so above me. Some of the words they use and the way that they talk, it's just more than I can wrap my little mind around. And Tozer is understandable. He uses big words that stretch me, but not lose me. And so I'm reading this, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm in chapter 4 or something like that. Again, devouring it. But the general gist at this point is we were all created to worship God. But is God the one that you're really worshiping? Or is it just your idea of God? And some of us have grown up in church. Um, some of us have gotten into the church at different points in our life, but um, not just what have we been taught that God is, and is that really who He is? There are things that He uses in our world, marriage. He's the bridegroom, we're the bride. The church is the bride of Christ. Um, um, it uses things like He's the lion and He's the lamb, and um, He's got eyes like fire, and a tongue like a sword, and there are these things that give us an idea, a description, but is not fully who He is. And if we, say, take marriage, we take marriage and we go, what we see around us and what marriage is to us, or what it should be. Let's say we elevate it, not necessarily what I'm experiencing in my own marriage. My own marriage isn't perfect, but what marriage should be, the bridegroom, what a husband should be, that's who God is. And that's not the case. He is just giving us a small idea, a taste, to get us in the right direction. And here, now, on earth, we can go after that and have some understanding of him and worship him in that. Have a small understanding of what it means that he might be a lion, king of the beasts, the predator. He is strong. He is powerful. The lamb, he is humble. The sacrifice, those kinds of things, but it's only a small glimpse. So to what degree are we really worshiping the true God? And how small we are, and we think we understand, we think we're starting to get a grasp on him or what he desires of us, and right now this book is just jerking the rug right out underneath me, which I love, because it brings me back into a place of humility, and I just want to be with him. It brings it back to, I want to know you. I want to be with you. And so, yeah. I just wanted to share that with you. If you get a chance to read any of A.W. Tozer's stuff, check it out. It's really good. And he is not... one of the things that I found out about him is that he learned to read with the Bible. And back in the old days, I mean, that was their school book. But Tozer, in his time, didn't have to learn to read that way, but he did. So, just interesting. I want to be humbled. I'll throw this out there to you. Pastoring, you don't get people with the right heart that will give you criticism. A lot of times, it's not coming from the right heart, or you don't get it at all. And that's my struggle. I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to get so close to him. But even other men of God, they don't. And part of it's our world too. Just, you're friends with somebody, but friends now, they tend not to tell the person areas that they need to grow in, and shortcomings and stuff like that. So that's a struggle for me. And so to basically sit down with Tozer in his book and just have him set me straight and go, Shane, you don't have a clue, is so nice. And I'm broken again in a good way. And so God bless you guys. We are to humble ourselves before the Lord. And in another place in Scripture, if we won't humble ourselves, he will humble us. I'd much rather humble myself. And so, humble yourself, go after him, and as much as we think and we want to kind of figure things out, he's way bigger, which is amazing, and that's what makes him God.